I'd like to say a few words about activism. I was thinking about it recently because I've been trying to get out there and do something, do more of it, I guess. And none of it none of it is particularly rewarding. I think that what I would say about a lot of activism is that to me, the way I feel about it is that the rewarding part kind of comes after, where you can look at it and say, okay, I did that. I think very rarely do, does a situation come up where you actually, like, while doing it, are, um, like, really having a blast about it. It's because it's not really meant to be fun. I think if you're going out expecting to have fun, or if you're saying like that's the reason why I'm doing this, then I don't know, you don't really. I feel like you're missing a point there or something, because it's like if you're going out and protesting, you know, the genocide in Gaza, that's not really something that you're gonna I don't know. I just that's not a good attitude to have, in my opinion, is to go out there and be like, okay, time to protest a genocide, and I am only gonna do it if I'm gonna have fun. If I don't have fun, then I'm just gonna go home. I think you do kind of have to look at it like a duty or something. But then again, that risks getting into like taking yourself too seriously, because really at the end of the day, um, we have no avenue of actually doing anything with a lot of the things that I don't know. It's just like there's a risk from the other side of thinking that you are like the most important person in the world for doing this shit, and actually you're really not. You're not really doing much of anything if you actually like broke it down or whatever. Uh, but I was thinking about activism in general after doing some of it, and in the span of a few months, I've managed to do quite a bit of it, um, including very recently some very odd things that I did, where I've talked on this channel about looking like a freaky weirdo. Well, I I didn't even, if I could have only seen into the future, because it gets weirder and it gets freakier. That's all I'll say about it right now. I'm not going to tell that story right now, but yeah, I've been trying to do many varied uh, things recently. Um, just just because to be honest, it's just because I think everything in the world seems like it's falling apart right now, and I gotta ally with something. I gotta do something in the world, or else I feel like I go crazy or something. But I was thinking about activism in general, and I thought about my mind went to a couple of things. I think about because for some reason I always remember images of people out on the street with signs, dressed up in crazy costumes or something, trying to get some point out to the world in some way. I always remember them in my mind. Like when I see something like that, it's like, okay, that's that guy, usually usually they're in like little teams, and it's kind of like a reoccurring thing. Like for example, the Black Israelites, everybody, if you live in a major city, you've probably seen these guys. They get out there, they're dressed like they're just like merry men, and they usually have like a megaphone. They have a sign that says something incomprehensible on it, and they're usually yelling stuff at people, and they're just like screaming at people. And you know, I won't speak a lot. I won't speak with any authority about what the Black Israelites believe, because I don't think that I'm really that well versed on it. I know a little bit about the about Nation of Islam guys, but that's a different group entirely. But you see them too. They go out on the street and they will be selling their bean pies. And they'll be talking about the Nation of Islam, and they'll usually be dressed, wearing bow ties. Um, and then there are those guys, there are Christian guys. Everybody knows the Christian guys that stand outside of like comic book conventions and like E3 and video game conventions and stuff like that. They usually have a megaphone, or if they don't have a megaphone, they're just they're just screaming, and they usually have a big sign that's like a list of sins, or it has like the seven deadly sins, or or it says something like you're going to hell. There are there are many, many different groups of these people. And I was thinking about some vegan activists. Uh, Vegan activists are a whole other world, because they, something like a vegan activist, it's like you look at the stuff that they do, and it actually makes you feel like maybe like the communist movement is actually like super advanced or something like that. Like maybe communists actually in America are actually like insanely ahead of the game or something like that, because you look at what like vegan activists do to get their message out there, and it's just like a cause like veganism. Full disclosure, I'm a vegan, if you didn't know that. But the cause of veganism, it's not like uh, communism. It doesn't have this like group that you can uh, organize. It's like, people always say organizing, and it's like that's just kind of a buzzword now. But really, what it means is, you're organizing the proletariat, you're organizing the working class, because the whole thing is based around the working class, right? It's like that's our group, that's the people we're trying to get together with. That's the people you know, we're trying to poke them and get them to do something, right? Like we're trying to be like, okay, that sick them on the bad guy, But with vegans, they don't have that. They don't have a group of people. There's just kind of like everybody, and that's kind of like standard. That's really not, the communists are actually really lucky that we have that. It's like those are our guys. We don't we it's like, oh, we'll do unionization efforts, and we'll do like all these things like that. The workplace. It's like the sites of struggle, right? For the for the vegans, it's just like, well, what do we do? Well, let's get some celebrities to talk about it. Let's get like Joaquin Phoenix. Let's just go outside with iPads with slaughterhouse footage on it, and just hold it up to like random passerbys, just like holding this footage, holding up this horrible fucking footage to just random people, and it's actually kind of effective. It's like, man, maybe we should be doing that with like a lot of other stuff. But I was thinking about it's like they choose. I feel like vegans choose really ridiculous places to do stuff like that too, though, because it's like where are we gonna reach a bunch of people? It's like let's go to it's like the Christian guy going to the comic convention or something. It's like the vegan's like, let's go to the rib fest, or like let's go to the hot dog eating contest or something. And it's like I don't know if that's the best place for that, man. I don't think people are gonna be really receptive to that when they're going to see the hot dog eating contest. But maybe it works. I don't know. But the point is, this is a really long-winded point, but the point of this is whenever I see people like that, I always I always feel a kinship with them. I always feel like, you know, I always feel like they're taking a real chance here. I mean, basically what they're doing is they're going out into the world and looking like a fool for something that they really believe is true, you know? And I think that that is really honorable to me. It's really honorable. Um, and I've just always felt this way. Even with even in these really ridiculous examples with, vegans at the hot dog eating contest um, or like the crazy Christian guy, or even, I feel like maybe I wouldn't feel this way when it turns into something that's like just really odious, like the National Socialist Movement or fucking whatever, like the Matthew Heimbach uh, groups or whatever. It's like maybe I don't feel that way about those guys because those guys are just, I don't know. That's like a whole other thing, but I do kind of feel this way about the about the Westboro Baptist Church in some situations. Like I think that the Westboro Baptist Church is when they would go and when they would go and protest like soldiers' funerals. They would just hold up signs that said like it was like a soldier dies and God laughs or something. It's like I don't know, like I don't know, maybe I do still kind of feel the same way about that. Um just 'cause it's like I don't know, it's so antithetical to uh the way that we are, I don't know, the way that like the world is taught to move now, just the general way that we are conditioned to act and to get our point across to people and to behave just, like I'm talking about just like the sort of general unspoken rules of civil society, it's just like we don't expect that of people. And when someone is standing outside with a sign and they kind of look like a weirdo, that's like a class of people to us. It's just like, oh yeah, that's just the weirdo with the sign or whatever. But I respect the weirdo with the sign, is what I'm trying to say. And I am the weirdo with the sign. Um, yeah, but you don't want to do too much of that because of what Bordiga said.